Alrighty, here we are on the InfoWars. Video: Hillary Clinton complains Trump wants Americans to have more babies. Well, yeah, if American citizens have more babies, then you wouldn't have to have so many immigrants. Says deported immigrants. No, the people who are deported aren't immigrants, they're illegal immigrants, invaders. We're already doing that. Well, there's a video with this, so I'll pop it in and take it from there.
Posted the other day this very blatant effort to basically send a message, most exemplified by Vance and Musk and others, that, what we really need from you women are more children.
Well, yeah, they need more children like every other Western country because the birth rate is tanking. And why? Because women decided to be boss babes. And they spend all those years climbing the corporate ladder, and then when they finally decide to have kids, they have to go all geriatric.
And what that really means is you should go back to doing what you were born to do, which is to produce more children.
Born to do. Another word for that would be what? Biology? It's the one field of science that the left doesn't like.
And they're talking about, cash benefits for the more children you have. This has been tried, by the way, in other countries, and it has not worked. Or medals if you have 6 children. While they're contemplating cutting Medicaid, while they have no interest in paid family leave or funding quality child care, they're cutting Head Start. I mean, you go down the list of all the programs that support child rearing and the care of children and create, some safety net for women who are in the workforce, the formal workforce, as well as, raising children. So this is another performance.
Okay, so first off, I hate to say it, but I actually agree with her. Giving people money for having kids is a bad idea, because what'll happen? You'll have a whole whack of women popping out kids for the monthly child check. And those kids won't have any discipline because they'll be raised by single mothers. Example, me, my family, my father and mother split up, and let's just say, looking back on it, I wish I had gone with my dad. Now, on the other hand, all these government child rearing programs, they're bad too. And why? I can't help but think of the USAID thing and how much corruption they found with that. So it just makes me think, how much corruption is in other government programs? In my opinion, if you want to increase the birth rate, you ask new couples, newlyweds and such, are you planning to have kids? Do you want to have kids? Etc. And if they agree that they want to have kids in their future, here's what you do. You offer them a tax break, lower their taxes. You don't give them programs, you don't give them money, you give them tax incentives, which would lower the cost of things because they wouldn't be paying as much in taxes. So they still have to be frugal with how they spend their money, but they will have a little extra. And because they're a married couple, you get your nuclear family, which is the best. Clinton also mentioned how women were working and how they should get maternity leave and have kids. That's one of the reasons why women aren't having kids, because they're working and then they face the prospect of having kids, which in and of itself is another full-time job.
About concerns they allegedly have for family life. But if you had read the Heritage Foundation's Project 2025, despite Trump saying he knew nothing about it, if you had read it, it's all in there. It's all in there. Return to the family, the nuclear family.
That's what the West needs, the nuclear family. Returning to the nuclear family isn't a bad idea. The reason why people like Hillary Clinton would prefer illegal immigrants over the nuclear family When they let in the illegal immigrants, who do you think the illegal immigrants are going to vote for when they get the ability to vote? They're going to vote for the party that let them in, which would be the Democrats.
Return to being a Christian nation, return to, producing a lot of children, which is sort of odd because the people who produce the most children in our country are immigrants, and they want to deport them. So none of this adds up.
Return to a Christian nation. Well, it was founded as a Christian nation. Nothing wrong there. Having lots of kids, there's nothing wrong with that, just as long as you raise them right. And then finally she said, Trump's deporting all the immigrants. No, he's not deporting the immigrants, he's deporting the illegal invaders that Biden and the Democrats let in.
But, one of the reasons why our economy did so much better than comparable advanced economies across the world is because we actually had a replenishment, because we had a lot of immigrants, legally and undocumented.
Undocumented, aka illegal invaders. I think there was 20 million of them? It's not really good, but anyway. Now when she talks about across the world, I think of Western Europe. And yeah, Western Europe has the same labor shortage as the US, which is probably why they got rid of Muammar Gaddafi. The former Libyan leader warned that Europe could turn black unless the European Union paid Libya at least 5 billion euros annually to prevent illegal immigration from Africa. Yeah, I would have paid him 6 billion and shook his hand and said thank you. He made this claim during a speech in Rome in 2010, stating that Europe risks being overwhelmed by people with different religions and ethnic groups. Yeah, now look what's happening in 2025. Well, it's been happening for longer than that, but still, it's getting worse. But corporate needs that cheap labor, and of course the replacement labor. Gaddafi also expressed concerns about the potential reaction of white Christian Europeans to the influx of starving, ignorant, suggesting that Europe could face a similar fate to the historical barbarian invasions. Yeah, but corporate doesn't care. All corporate cares about is cheap labor and replacement labor. And their political puppets, they like the division that the immigration invasion brings. These statements reflect Gaddafi's long-standing role as a champion of African interests on the international stage.
Who had a, larger than normal, by American standards, family. So this is just another one of their, make America great again by returning to the lifestyles and the economic arrangements of not just the 1950s. I mean, let's keep going back as far as we can and, see what happens.
If I'm not mistaken, in the 1950s, a nuclear family could afford a house and a car on a one-parent salary. So what's wrong with that? Nowadays, both parents basically have to work. I wouldn't be surprised if one of the reasons that was possible was the lack of so much corruption. But hey, that's just my thoughts on it. Take care out there in Clown World.